So I think our next step is actually going to be building in the individual cells. I think that's honestly going to be the best thing that we can do, since that is something that we haven't really looked into in a long time, is doing individual cells. And I think by doing individual cells, that should definitely help our actual chances of preventing these kind of dormitory-esque riots from occurring, because riots will occur basically when, you know, a group of people kind of rile up their friends and everything like that. And so that's what's actually, at least what I see is happening, is, you know, they're kind of one inmate decides to lash out, and it sparks this kind of chain reaction of other prisoners lashing out, and then you have a riot and everything that's happening. So I think the best thing for us to do now is actually just to go through and kind of clean up these little dorms. So we're going to go ahead and delete these dorms probably and rebuild them as a single cell kind of facility. And we can start maybe moving that out too. So we can maybe start the single cells down here and start working our ways across on the bottom here. That would be an interesting thing for us to do. It's a pretty big project, and like I said, we're going to go through. I do need this visitation center, so we're going to go ahead and actually finish this visitation center, because I completely forgot about this during the middle of the riots. And we're going to go ahead and put in the visitor booth, which is going to be here, here, and here. Actually, I do not want to demolish these two walls. Here we go. And if we can get these two visitor booths in, that should actually cover the rest of that grant, and it looks like it has. We need 117 people require medical attention. Wow. And I think we only actually have 4 doctors, so we're going to go ahead and hire twice as many doctors just to kind of clear everyone out and kind of deal with this. We have 115 people that need solitary. Basically all the punishments were all solitaries here. I think what I'm going to do is actually repurpose this building that we had built, so it's no longer going to be actually just I don't think I'm going to be able to make it just a shower and 2 dorms. I think we're going to actually start building maybe solitaries in here or something of the sort, just to kind of address the incoming mass of, you know, solitary that we're going to need. This power station is sorely overrun. We definitely need to do this. I'm going to go ahead and make those a priority. A mail room. Oh, I do want to connect. Can we connect this mail room in? There we go. It is connected. So now we have an access to the mail rooms. We can kind of look into see what's going on here, which is great. And I believe our doctors are going through and kind of clearing everything up. Let's go ahead and actually add in a couple more janitors as well, just to clean up all the mess that's happening. And we're going to add a couple more gardeners. So now we have a decent actually staff for the size of our prison, because previously our prison was kind of understaffed, if I do say so myself. Only 4 janitors for the entirety of this area, so that would definitely not be that great of a solution. I'm going to go ahead and actually add in metal detectors as well. And here, and here, through all these doors really, just to make sure that they can actually be sorted through and people will be checked before going into all these areas. Bang up is still happening, so everyone should still be on lockdown. I know danger is going to be high because a lot of people are going to complain that they have been locked down or unnecessarily searched or something like that, which is fine because right now we just kind of have a blanket policy. Everyone should be stuck in their own rooms. I am going to actually decrease this to 0, so we're actually going to take a rare day and not accept new prisoners. I don't think we're really hurting for money, and I think right now we just have a lot of things that we actually need to take care of that we want to really do for now. I actually am realizing now that I don't think we can actually okay, so that's the grants mod. So we got that. So these grants are definitely smaller, but at least they should be able to give us a little things more faster. We have your only call, which is 5 phone booths, I believe. Yes, we do. We have, excuse me, we have, we do have bookworm. Yes, we do. We have at least 4 weight benches. Yep, we have a water wonder. Yes, we do. We have smelly socks. We have unlocked prison labor, but we haven't built the workshop yet. I think we have this, and then we have 20 inmates, 50 inmates, 200 inmates, and then we're in the process of doing cell block E. And these require the Reform Through Education initiative, which is what we're still in the process of doing, because apparently our prisoners cannot, for the love of God, pass foundation education course for some strange reason. So I think basically the other ones here require just kind of creative accounting. It looks like the other one required group therapy, and one of them required basic labor and basic education. So we're just going to slowly kind of go through and handle all of these and start the research on those as needed. I'm going to go ahead and connect these to here to make sure that these are now working. This one would be most easily connected there. So we actually have a couple of these dorms now being protected and upgraded with the metal detectors here. Right now, so alright, so I guess one of the biggest things that we really want to handle, I guess in this episode, is we're going to handle how to build these individual cells. Now normally I build them a 2x3 with just one bed. We can maybe do a bunk bed in each one instead. Let me see, is there such thing as a... So it requires a bed. It can't be otherwise as a dorm. So we're going to give them a bed. So each of these rooms is going to be able to fit one person in it, essentially, which is it's kind of annoying, but it'll do. I think they just need one bed and one toilet. It's not going to be the nicest of, rooms, but that's fine because they are prisoners. We don't want to really give them that great of a kind of situation, living situation. And then each of these is going to be basically barred behind multiple kind of jail doors. So I think this is going to be I think this pathway down here is going to be the best for getting these prisoners in here. I'm just seeing, I think we might want to, yeah, that's fine. We can leave it that far. I'm just going to slowly kind of expand out everything here. It's going to be one really long hallway for the initial one. So the door is probably just going to be on this end. This could be the door entrance going through. We'll have kind of like almost like a lobbies type of thing, and there we go. So we can get maybe a couple more rooms in here. If this is just going to be the exact same thing, just on the other side, it's fine. And then we're going to go ahead and do this as well. So it becomes basically another set. I think we're not going to be able to do this because we want to kind of mirror almost what's going on that side. And this is going to be probably one of the biggest undertakings we've done, but I think it'll be worth it in terms of reducing the amount of riots that we actually get going through here. So this is all going to be basically one huge prison block, and I'm going to probably include it inside the maximum security. How much did that cost us? $29K to build. Hopefully it turns out well. It is $29K, yes, but there's also going to be a ton more of things happening there. I'm actually going to go ahead and not auto light it, since there's going to be a lot of things here that we're going to want to build. I'm going to go ahead and actually add in all these beds just on the top of it to begin with, or as many as possible. That way our workers can kind of just handle this whole thing on its own. Like so. I do want to add in utilities. I feel like utilities might be a very important thing for us to do. The question is, do we think this one building can... I'm going to go ahead and actually capacitor the entirety of it and then continue this along here. That way we can finally get the full extent here. We'll just have two arms going through, like so. We'll move it all the way to the end for the door. Then we're going to need to large pipe everything. I think I'm going to put large piping here. I feel like it would be most cost effective if we just do that and do the small piping through these whenever we decide to build the actual the actual rooms. I think that's going to be the best way here, and it's going to cost us a lot of money, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm going to go ahead and actually build up this fence as well down here. Go ahead and add this fence in here, and then let's see what other things do I really want to do. Go ahead and connect that finally, so this will stop beeping at us. I don't know why there's a light right there. That seems a little weird place to auto light things. Go ahead and close that. And then we should actually eventually be getting our guard tower soon, and we do have this bang up still happening. So you can see all of the foundations that we've recently picked up because of the new building that we're doing. And so it's gonna be a couple of shipments, but our workers are getting on it. And now that we actually have, I think, 31 workers, this should go relatively quickly for this entire building itself. And then it's just going to be kind of outfitting it and slowly building it up, which I think it's gonna take its time, but it'll be worth it, like I said. And now that we actually have a pretty decent amount of money on us, this is going to be a relatively quick kind of process that we have. We do need to build sprinklers, which I don't really know where to put. I guess we could put the sprinklers in the kitchen. This kitchen is just overly packed. I don't know how to readjust, and this kitchen is not packed enough. I don't know really how to adjust that, unfortunately, in the settings. And this dog has just been hounding this cook for the longest time now. There's 70 prisoners up for parole. Everyone's banged up, so no families can actually visit. Let me go ahead and let these guys through. And we do have some prisoners showing up for some reason. I'm not sure why. I thought I canceled all these prisoners, and now it's raining. Of course it's raining. But, you know, it's the start of a new day, basically, is what it is, right? The rain is a symbol of the start of the new day. And I did say we were going to convert this into probably solitary. Let's go ahead and plan that out. You know, I'm pretty sure it's basically just going to be a very, very kind of basic, simple, solitary building that we have. Our general, you know, our typical kind of solitary, and then we can have maybe another like so, just kind of all in one building. I feel like might be the best solution for us. And then just mirror the other side of what's going on there. And it definitely looks like we're probably going to need to re-light everything, which is going to be a pain. So let's go ahead and clear the indoor area then here. And that should give us an easy kind of way to clear out all the lights. And then we're going to go ahead and light the area up like so. And then we're going to go ahead and do a couple of lights alternating here. And then we're going to add in our brick walls. So this could all be handled basically in one go by our workers. And basically that water boiler is there for no reason though. And we could still, you know, put a small yard right there like we were planning on doing. I think I will eventually do that, but for now, since we really want to focus on getting this building up and running, we're going to let that kind of slide. We don't want to spend too much money on other things right now while we build this area here. And I'm actually probably going to hire, let's just add in some more guards. Just because we do seem to be on the kind of the corner of, or the boundary of having guards available versus non-available, because we have already 59 just patrolling, leaving only 41. 41 looks like to actually, or 51 now, to actually do jobs and do just general stuff. And, you know, that also accounts for some of the guards resting and, you know, switching out in terms of shifts. So there's a lot of things that there is still left to do. which is fine. And we are slowly kind of tearing, there's a lot of trees in the way, so we are slowly kind of doing that. I'm going to go ahead and actually figure out how big this is. This is a 67 by 30 is what it is. So we might actually be interested in just building up a second one right next to it already. I believe it was a 67 by 30, like that. We can just handle 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing. And we do, did I get land expansion? I don't believe I've researched land expansion. I did not, but we can do that right now. And that should help us. We're gonna go ahead and finish a couple of these, research things, and that should help us in terms of that. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and build this new building here as well. It's just gonna require an entrance, which we probably won't put in yet, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave this open. And that way, once we get this done and actually have this, we can just clone it over, and it should be a pretty quick build that way. So we're going to have basically 2 of these buildings, both of them probably for maximum security at the end of the day. So we're going to probably want to continue down this road and actually leave this area as maximum security. I'm going to go ahead and fence this off, maybe even. Since fencing is pretty cheap, we're going to go ahead and fence this off. And I'm going to fence the other side off as well. And then we're just going to make this almost like a symbolic kind of gap between the 2 prisoners. And eventually we'll probably build something here. But for now, we're just going to leave it as a gap. And then in the meantime, since we do have some time, I'm going to go ahead and increase the prisoners back. So we're going to go ahead and take some more prisoners. I believe we have almost 200 capacity for the prisoners. So we're just going to, for the medium security, so we're going to go ahead and increase this to 50. It's going to be a lot, and we're going to be starting to hit the 400 mark. But, we'll be able to get a lot more cash flow in, which will help us out later on. Since we do have this kind of buffer of money right now to spend, and we don't need to worry, we don't need to rely as much on cash flow. Of course, cash flow is not going to be the only thing that we have, so it's something that we do want to actually look into. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this and make this a priority since someone still hasn't built this yet, shockingly. And then I'm going to go ahead and do objects, some solitary doors, and add in the doors to these rooms. I don't know why there's guards already bringing in, it looks like prisoners everywhere here. So, do that, and I just realized this needs to be dismantled and put over here, it looks like, and then a wall needs to be built there once it gets dismantled to make it a legitimate. Then we can go ahead and dismantle these 2. And then we're going to set up a deployment. This is minimum security only. We're going to deploy here. A couple of guards. And lock these open. While we handle this, and we are slowly building up this area. This one is starting to get built up. I know it's like a weird pattern. I don't know why the workers decided to build it this way, but it is what it is. They can do what they want to do as long as they get the job done, right? So these are both theoretically or proposed to be maximum security, which may or may not work in our favor. We actually do have a lot more things. We have a hairdresser, a mechanic, an occupational therapist, and a lecturer. Maybe the lecturer is for the programs. Sounds like the lecturer is probably for the programs. So one of the things we could probably do is actually maybe make a building here for a classroom, for studying as well. So we have a couple of dorms, and I think it's appropriate time for us to actually move into the kind of the larger single cell split that we can take. That way we can kind of deal with, just want to make sure we can actually take everybody. That way we can deal with some more prisoners in here and deal with the rioting that is occurring constantly. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this to 2 times, since 3 times seems to be making a strain, putting a strain on my computer. And yeah, So I'm excited. I'm excited for what the new cell block is going to look like, and I'm excited that we're starting to really kind of build this area out. And eventually we're going to want to actually pave everything here. Right now everything is not paved, which could be kind of annoying. And since it slows everyone down as they move through here. I'm a little suspicious here, so I'm going to go ahead and search this cell block. I'm going to go ahead and search these two cell blocks since they seem to be spending a lot of time in the bathroom for some reason. Yeah, we lost a lot of... Okay, we're having a riot. Oh my god. Lockdown. Everyone's locked down. I don't... Okay, well that was a short riot. I'll lift the bang up. I just realized my bang up was up the entire time. I'll lift the lockdown. I'm actually going to go through and change the policy, so I don't think we're going to... We're not going to increase for serious injury. Murder is going to max. Found weapon will go none. Yeah, so I think this way we can kind of minimize the amount of... This one should be able to minimize the amount of maximum security that we have, because a lot of our prisoners are going from normal to maximum, and that means we actually don't have enough capacity for the maximum. So that's, you know, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing, which is kind of annoying for us. We just don't have the logistics right now to handle so many maximum security prisoners, which is really, really annoying actually. Fencing all the way down here, and then I'm probably going to actually continue the fencing here. How much would this perimeter wall be? 3, 4, it's a lot of money. Almost 10k. I think, okay, so I think we have done enough exorbitant spending in terms of the outside. We're just going to go ahead and focus on getting this prison up first, because I really don't know how much it's going to cost us. We need to furnish everything. We do have the utilities already, which is great, but that's not everything. The new wave of prisoner intake should give us a lot more daily cash flow to work with. We are really spending a lot of money right now. I think this building is almost done. It looks like it's almost done, which is great. A lot of prisoners are shackled or have serious complaints. It's just, there's a lot. 4 or 5 prisoners say they're treated well. Wow, we actually have some prisoners who think they're treated well. That in and of itself is a feat for us. So okay, this is now built, which is great. Like I said, there is no lighting though, so that's something that we will want to do. We're going to go ahead and actually build this middle brick wall. I used to build a lot of prisons like this, so I know basically how annoying those brick walls are going to be, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and input these now, just to get these out of the way. And once we build just one set, it should be relatively easy to kind of clone and duplicate to the rest of the kind of building. But just the first building that we build is always going to be the most annoying. Actually, if we drag this all the way through, that should help us there. I don't know how much money we started off with, but I can tell already that we're going to be spending a lot just on the infrastructure of a building like this. And just all these walls are going to cost a lot of money, and then we're going to have to add in doors and add in these the toilets and the drain and the bed. So each cell is going to get 1 bed, 1 toilet, and 1 drain, and that's going to be all that they get.